This is the last qualifying spot for IEM Cologne. Spawning in the top left corner of the map, playing for complexity, it's the Purple Terran. He likes his mech. We'll see if it brings it out here. It is QXC. And you can find him on Twitter at Cole_QXC.
And in the bottom right, as the Pink Terran, it is Roots Illusion.
And surprisingly, you can find him on Twitter at Root Illusion. Camera's on you for just a sec. I gotta put my cat out. She's...
Okay. So TVT on Daedalus Point. This is pretty much, Protoss is really the only ones that are vetoing it. So it's, I think TVT is actually the most I've ever gotten on this map, as I have yet to veto it on my alt accounts. I don't know. I've seen people do both mech and bio. So if it's not like a terrible mech map, so much so that if QXC prefers mech, he's not going to be like, well, this is a map where I just can't do it. There is a lot of dead space, up here for a lot of drops, but there's also, there's a relatively easy third to take. Just have a tank line going from here to here, but then there's also this space here. I would actually, if there was a map where I just would not go mech, it would be this one, I would say. But that's what QXC prefers, so that's what he prefers, and he can definitely pull it off.
Sorry, I totally took the camera off you as you were like here to here, so my apologies to the audience, the viewers who missed what Zombie Grub was talking about. But yeah, that puts Baroop, shout out, Baroop, the most recent sub, new sub hype puts us at 49, Zombie Grub. We're so close, one sub away. But man, Illusion and QXC. So Daedalus Point, I know you were talking a little bit about it, and I kind of took the camera control back. I do apologize. One of the things most complained about on this map, and I don't know if you talked about this, and if it's repeating information, I'm sorry, is how big this map is. This is actually one of the few times where I don't feel like that's going to come into the biggest play as far as these open bases and such go, because, it's Zergling run-bys, it's Zealots coming into your base uncontested, it's getting past your defenses, which, well, in TVT is going to be siege tanks and marines, and you're not going to worry about fast units running past them. There's no predators in the online mode, just the campaign.
Yeah, I was just talking about maybe this is a map where you wouldn't go mech. There's so many areas that you can drop on, so much dead space, and not only the main but also the natural.
That's a good point, yeah.
But if he really prefers it, then of course you can make it work. You can make it work.
Nice joke. Did you make it up yourself? Did you mech it up yourself? Oh, I'm sorry guys. I know normally we don't try and draw too much attention away from the game for subs, but that puts us at 50 with Polo Gallant. 1, 2, 3. Now I have the funds to go make a show match outside of IEM. Yes! I'm very much stoked for that now. Of course, we'll keep you guys up to date later on. Not talking about it now because, of course, IEM, Intel Extreme Masters, were kind enough to invite us back again to cast their tournament. Here we are in the second finals of the same tournament. Double elimination, losers bracket, where everything's on the line. Now, Lucian's going to get those Banshees out, but will it be Cloak Banshees, I wonder?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so both players are going to go for Cloak. Illusions will be out a little bit quicker, and more to the point, a little bit closer to QXC, albeit ever so slightly by a few pixels. But when it comes to Banshee Wars, typically the person who gets the Banshee to the other base first wins.
It's going to be interesting. Oddly enough, there's been a few times, but one of those few times that I've seen those odd TVTs that only last on one base and no SCVs is with Illusion. I think it was him versus Thorzane. That entire series was weird, but the third final game they both went Banshee and they just didn't have any SCVs. He had 2 orbital commands but no SCVs, and it ended on the weirdest note. So that could happen here, although people have just gotten so good at the game, I guess, in general, that it generally doesn't happen. As you can see, they're both thinking, well, if he goes for it too, then I definitely need a Raven. So they both get a Raven now.
Just a small thing here, guys. I know it's in the past and long gone, but sometimes in StarCraft 2, this is fun facts. If you put your camera on another observer after there's been some swivels or something in the game, the camera gets stuck, and that's not at the fault. Zombie Grub wasn't looking at the game at a dumb angle, nor was I. It's just StarCraft 2 and backfiring, but. Illusion's Banshee, as predicted, did get here a little bit sooner, albeit just barely. QXC, I think he saw that Widowmine. You could, of course, see the Widowmine before it arms, but both players going to town. This is where I really wish we had picture-in-picture to watch what's going on, but we'll leave the units kill up here as we bounce between the two bases, perhaps be a little bit more of a factor. Actually, QXC is going to be pushed out of Illusion's base. Illusion not quite pushed out of QXC's, but with that Raven here, Cloak is going to be a little bit less effective, and Marines are actually getting kited around. Auto turret, of course, almost gets it.
Oh, what are you? Ah! Oh.
That was way too close.
Right there. He can't get out though. He's stuck. He has to wait for like the auto turret to leave or something.
The auto turret to leave. Because the auto turret is going to get up and move. Alright, Banshee goes down. QXC maintains his. End of the day, what do these guys get away with? 3 worker kills for Illusion. He got 3 SUVs and 4 Marines. QXC, of course, got the Banshee though, so I think he kind of wins.
Hard. I guess that's really weird to say. QXC is getting another Banshee afterwards. Sometimes, you know, both players agree, okay, Banshee's not a good idea, and sometimes they're like, well, even if the Banshee doesn't necessarily do a lot of damage, it actually adds a lot to, you know, the mid-game pushes, or if he pushes, it adds a lot to my defense, so I'm going to go ahead and get that, even if it is technically already defended. And there you go. QXC is going to go for mech again, throwing down that second factory. Should be a third one soon as well. Ooh, both should be expanding.
Widow Mine hit was fantastic. I don't know how that went off. But okay. Illusion, of course. Another pretty good Widow Mine hit goes off. Picking off Hellions left and right. Plow, plow. So 2 Hellions down really cuts out the pushing power of QXC here. He can't even really engage into the Marines.
Yeah, man. Actually, Daedalus Point is one of the maps where you can, even if they have a tank siege up like Illusion does, you can technically get around it. If you have enough Hellions, like 2 of them, 3 of them, I don't know, probably die, but you could like get back into the SCV line. Pretty annoying. It's not going to happen here, though.
Yeah, with the second tank up, he should be good to go. Banshee has been added to the army composition. I like this. It's so good at dealing with your opponent's tanks, but Banshee for QXC gets into the natural mineral line. There are Vikings here. He's going to get about 3 or 4 worker kills, maybe, but Banshee will fall. Oh,
yeah, sacrifices it. Yeah. Well, that brings him up to 6 versus 3 workers killed, so now QXCs can feel good about that one. I mean, it's still 30. Actually, Illusion's down by about 6 SCVs now, so that's actually I mean, it shouldn't play a big deal, but it is, I guess, something for QXC. Well, Illusion is pushing out right now.
And this is what I was kind of hoping to talk about. He's going mech again. And the problem is, his production is mech. It's going to be slow. His tanks are only coming out just now. Illusion already has 3 tanks available. Marines, and of course those Widow Mines earlier ate up some of the Hellions. So this push from Illusion is very one-sided, very lopsided. 44 army supply to 29. And unfortunately, what QXC has is not too effective versus Illusion. That point defense drone is going to ensure that he wins a Viking fight head-on. Oh man, he saw the Widow Mine there. SCVs don't know where to go. QXC in a bit of disarray. Will lose a lot of SCVs, and that Widow Mine hit. Oh my god!
Oh wow. Okay, so while this is going on though, QXC did have a Banshee in Illusion's base, and Illusion had to transfer his workers entirely to the other base, but there's no start there either.
Oh, look at the
control
of Illusion.
Scan?
He kills the orbital. Who cares? The SCVs are eventually going to survive this. I say eventually, but still, QXC just lost his natural base. He lost all of the SCVs associated with it. Illusion's got this amazing tank siege up outside of his base. And for QXC, there's just no way out. Good game. Illusion, with a very aggressive push, takes it in game number 1.
That was like perfect too. It wasn't even the map being like this big, wide ramp either, although that might have helped. It was just QXC didn't have anything.
That's the problem when you play mech, man. It's a risk you have to take. But the next map will be back to Game Art Light, guys. So we're going to have those cool team logos, as it will be Yansu. Again, no commercials. I should be doing this as the finals, but because we hit that 50 sub goal, I'm not going to push it. I'm really excited that you guys were supporting the channel and supporting a show match in the first place, so I can live with slapping on the commercials. But